Reveille United Methodist Church 2013 Stewardship Presentation. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about our stewardship hopes for 2013 and beyond. And thank you for the exciting and difference-making year we had in 2012. Some of you may recall from last year's pledge campaign that we wanted to get the word out about our ministry and outreach programs and the financial support that help those programs make a difference for others. Well, your stewardship support in 2012 enabled those programs to come to life. And I don't mean support just through your financial gifts. I mean support in the fullest sense of stewardship. Your prayers, your presence, your witness, your service, and your gifts. Like last year, we're hoping this year's stewardship presentation will help you as you take time to prayerfully consider your full stewardship experience in 2013 and your financial stewardship pledge to support Reveille's 2013 operating budget. Your pledge is your financial commitment to Reveille as a member of the congregation for the coming year, which you can pay on a weekly or monthly basis. God has blessed our church in so many ways. As we turn our attention to 2013, we realize there's an opportunity to build on those blessings and use them as a foundation for our stewardship efforts in the future. It's in that spirit that our 2013 stewardship theme is building on our blessings. I'd like to take some time to talk to you about some dreams fulfilled from 2012 and dreams we have for 2013 and beyond. Everything we do at Reveille is powered and inspired by the Holy Spirit and expressed as the vision statement for Reveille that we established years ago. Let's begin by reminding ourselves of that vision statement. Formed by the love of Jesus Christ and empowered by the Holy Spirit, Reveille United Methodist Church is a caring community of all ages committed to glorifying God through worship, to building Christian disciples through nurture and learning, and to use our gifts to make a difference in God's world. There's a lot packed into that statement, and if you look at it closely, you'll see that it's very purposeful in its wording and meaning. Purposeful in that there are three parts of focus that touch on who we are as a church and what's important to us. Glorifying God through worship, building Christian disciples, using our gifts for service. These 3 points serve as the pillars in our stewardship experience, and as we set our dreams for the future of Reveille, they're a constant reminder and reinforcement of the dreams that can make a difference in God's world. I mentioned our blessings in 2012. Let's take a look at those dreams realized against each of these pillars. Several years ago, we had a dream to build a space where a congregation can worship God and also use the space to make a difference for others. Through your stewardship, that dream came to life in 2012. We have a beautiful new chapel that accommodates our growing 8:30 services and serves as a meeting space for other groups. And our music space has been enlarged and updated to support our expanding music ministry for adults, youth, and children. There's been a lot of excitement around the opening of the new space, but the real excitement is in the anticipation of how we can put this space to work to glorify God. Another important pillar of our vision statement is building Christian disciples. It's a lifelong learning process, and our efforts in 2012 reflect those life stages. The new space for our youth provides a place for fellowship and learning at an important time of spiritual development. And those 200 youth take their Reveille experience into the various schools and communities across Richmond. From early age, our children's curriculum is centered around mission and outreach, even our day camp where children are involved in outreach programs. In the last few years, we've expanded our Sunday school spiritual classes, deepening our discipleship learning beyond Sunday school. Our GPS provides a daily devotional guide for individuals or as a centering point around family reflection and conversation. Our prayer ministry has grown to a consistent effort with someone attending to prayers midday every day. Affecting a very early stage of life, the relationship and collaboration between Reveille and our weekday school is as strong as ever. And with our growing congregation across generations, we recognize the need for a singular focus on children's ministries and a singular focus on adult ministries. We have filled director staff positions for both of those discipleship efforts and are looking forward to the additional attention and nurturing that will be part of the added support. We all have unique gifts, and God calls for us to use those gifts in service to others. In 2012, we sent a large number of our congregation on outreach missions to serve others. We've reached out to thousands of people here in Richmond and around the world. Let me share a list of those ministries: Habitat for Humanity, Stop Hunger Now, Rebuilding Together, Swansboro Mentoring Program, Westview on the James, Richmond Friends of the Homeless, and our Apprentices Ministry, Caritas, Stephen Ministry, and don't forget mission trips from Romney, West Virginia, to the Eastern Shore, all the way to Honduras and El Salvador. In fact, there was one point in the middle of summer where we had 6 different mission trips ongoing, taking place and often overlapping one another. This is a large and important effort for Reveille, and I expect many of you have participated in one or more of these efforts. And what's even more impressive about this list is the fact that I'm almost certain there are other mission and outreach efforts taking place that I've overlooked. I mentioned the Stephen Ministry in that list. There are more people involved in Stephen Ministry than ever before, and the care they're providing is more involved than ever before. They still nurture the individual in need, but they're also reaching out to groups of people through hospital and home visits. And we talked about our new building space earlier. It's more than just a place for worship and for discipleship gathering. It's also a refuge for others who are visiting Richmond, using their own unique gifts and following God's calling to serve in our community. And we're putting it to good use. Our youth center served as a home base for a group of 35 youth and adults from Peace Lutheran Church in Dayton, Ohio, while they served the Richmond community for a week. When you step back and take a look at the big picture of Reveille activity, it's truly remarkable that we've been so blessed and celebrated so many dreams in 2012. I think it's safe to say that our vision of making a transformative difference in God's world has never meant more to more people in more places, and it's safe to say that Reveille's stewardship spirit is vibrant and energetic. Now we'll turn our attention to the future and how the blessings we've realized in 2012 can influence our stewardship efforts in 2013 and beyond. We want to not only continue our transforming ministries, but increase our commitment to growing our congregation, our community, and our world. As we move into 2013, how can we build on the momentum from this past year? Let's take a look at the future dreams we have each of the 3 vision pillars, developed with input from the congregation, from church council, and from Reveille committee members. What dreams can we realize and how we glorify God through worship? Let's add a monthly healing service on Sunday evening or during the week with a focus on support and prayer for those in need of physical, emotional, or spiritual healing. Instead of our youth going on the road with a summer production, over 100 of Reveille youth and adults can partner together and have a congregation-wide production of Jesus Christ Superstar to be performed right here in Richmond. We have the beginnings of a youth instrumental ensemble to add to our music celebration. Let's establish that as an ongoing ministry. We've expanded the music space. Let's look for ways to expand membership in our adult choir. But let's not stop with the music ministry. Let's explore ways to add inspiration to our worship service and other artistic expressions. How do we broaden and deepen the lifelong discipleship journey? Our small group ministry has a good foothold in our discipleship programs, but let's find ways to encourage more people to join and reach 100% participation. From children all the way up to adults, everyone goes through different milestones in their lives and sometimes can benefit from the care of others. Reveille can develop support group for those milestone events, everything from going into middle school to an empty nest stage of life, to divorce, to retirement, to the death of a loved one. Let's make our vacation Bible school and day camp more accessible with free participation for all and reach out to our greater community. Let's take our youth ministry into the many Richmond communities where we have membership, making it more accessible to Reveille youth and their friends. Our family interaction and relationship has a profound effect on our lives. Let's support that by sponsoring family retreats. Imagine a father-son retreat or mother-daughter retreat that allows time for reflection and connection. How can we use our gifts for service to fulfill dreams for others? Let's continue finding ways to use the blessings of our additional space. In times of emergency, our youth center can become a Red Cross shelter. Let's make our wonderful Welcome Center even more welcoming with an information desk, pictures of our ministries, and seating. And let's make our online accessibility easier with a more user-friendly website for visitors and members and an easily updated online pictorial directory. Let's add high-speed internet access throughout the church. I talked earlier about the number of mission trips in 2012, and while there was adult involvement, the truth is that most of the participation was with our youth. Let's form missions that attract and use the gifts of all of our congregation, from our children all the way up to our long-term members. I said we should continue to look for different ways to use the blessings of our new space for service for others. Well, here's a way that's a lot different from a Red Cross emergency shelter. We'll host the United Methodist Family Services prom. From a shelter to a dance floor. What a wonderful reflection of the range of uses and different ways our space can make a difference for others. Let's get more disciplined about being green at Reveille. Set up processes and resources that allow us to save, recycle, reuse more than we are now. We already have transportation to Sunday morning services for the Hermitage. Imagine what a difference it would make if we added Westminster, Canterbury, and Cedar Fields and transportation for anyone who finds it difficult to get to church. There's an opportunity to develop music and sports camps in Swansboro, especially during the summer months when the children and youth have time on their hands. And finally, this dream. There's a family of 5 in need of a home in Swansboro. What if we took the resources we'd normally spend on an out-of-town mission trip, added to that, and built a complete house for that family right here in the Richmond community? You can see there are a number of big dreams we have for 2013 and for ministries that go beyond 2013. But this particular dream, building a house for Donna Yvette Harris and her 4 children, all under the age of 13, and giving them a safe environment to grow as a family, is one that we feel is a particular calling from God. And with your help, we'd like to fulfill that dream in 2013. Let me tell you why we think this is such a special opportunity to make a transformative difference in this family's life and in our congregation's life. Several months ago, we began thinking through possible ministry projects that would extend beyond just participation for our youth. We wanted outreach that would involve all the people and groups in our congregation, from adults to youth to children, from Sunday school to small groups to choirs. A ministry that would bring us all together and use all blessings of our stewardship. We also hope to share those blessings in Richmond, allowing for more participation from the congregation and making more of a difference right here at home. We knew the needs of the Swansboro community and felt there was an opportunity for an ongoing ministry. This wouldn't be a one-week trip where only the youth go, make a difference, form some connections, and leave, never to reconnect with those they serve. Instead, this would be a 4-month building project, and beyond that, an ongoing ministry in which Reveille embodies Christ's presence on a more consistent and ongoing basis for Swansboro residents. We looked into building a Habitat home in Swansboro and were told there was no available land to build on. And then a funny, interesting, and credible thing happened. Within a few weeks of our inquiry, someone out of the blue donated a parcel of land just 3 blocks from Swansboro Elementary. In the ongoing conversation that we all have with God, where we try to listen for small signs of what to do next, this was a case where God wasn't whispering. He was shouting. On top of all of that, it only seemed appropriate that we set a dream in 2013 to build our home for this family when we've been so blessed with the new building space we have now. We'll need all of our congregation, everyone offering their own unique gifts in support of this ministry. But just imagine the day in July when we gather at the construction site, join hands in prayer, and work begins on raising the walls of this home. And then go forward a few months. After weeks of prayer and fellowship, of meals and sandwiches prepared, of boards nailed, walls painted, windows and doors put in place, plumbing and electrical turned on, and the yard landscaped. Just think of the look in the eyes of the family as we gather at the dedication ceremony and they enter their new home and their new life for the first time. It's a very ambitious dream, as are the other future dreams we've described. But those dreams allow us the opportunity to flex all of our stewardship muscle, and they're dreams we can make come true. In addition to prayer, presence, service, witness, and personal gifts, these dreams do require a financial commitment. Let's take a look at the financial support needed in 2013 to get started. This year, in 2012, we're expecting our funding to be $1,651,000. Some of that funding comes from other income, some from the endowment portion that's allocated each year. But the biggest funding comes from offerings, and within offerings, we rely most heavily on pledged giving. The financial commitment you make to Reveille each October for the following year's operating budget is your commitment. In 2013, we're estimating the operating budget will be $1,838,000. With financial support allocated to these important functions within the church, and in turn towards some of the worship, discipleship, and service streams we've talked about today, including the Habitat for Humanity mission. To build on the blessings we've already realized and support our operating budget, we need to increase our pledge giving by $182,000 over the pledged amount in 2012. In these economic times, really at any time, we recognize the increased pledge giving by that amount as a challenge. But the members of Reveille have shown a heart and a spirit time and time again to take those kinds of challenges head on and help fulfill the dreams of those in need. How can we make this happen? First, we need to increase our number of pledges. You've heard this before, but it's really true. The more pledges we can get from the congregation, the better planning we can do as we work towards our dreams. And we can make your financial gifts work even harder for those dreams. For the past several years, we've received about 300 financial pledges each year, but we have around 500 pledge opportunities through individual or family members. If you are pledging, thank you. Please keep it up. It helps in so many ways. If you aren't pledging, please consider changing that in 2013. To express it in more individual terms, with the pledges we're receiving now, the 300 we typically get each year, if they were to increase their pledges by $600, we'd realize the additional funding we're hoping for. That's only about $12 per week. In reality, we would love to see the additional per pledge number come down through increasing the number of pledges we receive, not asking each individual to give more. We started here with Reveille's vision for today and for the future. I hope you've seen the difference your gifts have helped make in the world so far and what we hope to accomplish in the future. And we hope you have a better understanding of what it will take as you consider your financial commitment in 2012 to continue building on our blessings. But as we said at the beginning of this presentation, it's not just about financial gifts. It's about all aspects of your stewardship. The dreams we've realized so far, the dreams to be realized in the future, that can only come true through your full stewardship participation. As you reflect on this question for 2013, I'd ask that you add one other consideration. In addition to your prayers, presence, witness, service, and gifts, what is your potential? What is Reveille's potential for making a difference in God's world? Perhaps part of the answer is a quote I recently read from Marianne Williamson. She speaks to the potential in all of us, overcoming our hesitation to fulfill that potential, and the difference reaching our potential can make for others. Here's her quote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, handsome, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? We are all children of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. We're all meant to shine as children do, We were born to make manifest the glory of God within us. It's not just in some, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. Thank you again for your time, and thank you for the transformative difference you make in God's world.